We clash.
That's okay. That's the way that's our life. We just are clashful people.
Clashful or bashful?
Not bashful. Clashful. That's a new word. We're called the OED people. The OED people.
Who are those people?
The Oxford English Dictionary people. They're always looking for new words to add to the lexicon.
When a married couple doesn't wear matching tracksuits. Clashful.
One thing we always promised we would never do was wear the matching beach sweatshirts. So I was thinking this morning, I was going to ask you a question. You don't know what the question is. I think this is interesting because you and I have had so many varied jobs.
We have?
Some very strange jobs. So I was going to ask you the question, what's the worst job you've ever had?
I've had two not very fun jobs. One was probably because I was younger, detasseling in the cornfields. Not very fun. Corn rash, your eyes get cut with a little corn thing. And it was just wet and yucky. And now that I think back, I was walking in water of some sort with tennis shoes, and it was probably pesticides. And
right.
So, I mean, that memory, I don't know that it's the worst.
So working in the cornfields.
During college, I worked in the dish room.
Oh, washing dishes.
Washing dishes, and that was pretty disgusting.
I think the worst job I had, it wasn't that it was a disgusting job, but it was monotony for me is the worst thing. I got a job out of high school at a factory that made products. And so they led me to this table, and it had this big pneumatic press on it, and two green buttons. I'll never forget it. And you had to push both buttons at the same time, and a press came down. And so you had to your left this huge bin of copper bushings. They were innumerable, thousands of them, and pins over here. And what you did for 8 hours is you put the bushing in the press, and then you put the pin in the press, and you push these two buttons. This thing came down and pressed it, and you put these into a basket.
No good audiobook?
No audiobook. And you're sitting on a metal chair. And so you do this, and you're thinking, yeah, after about 5 minutes, like, okay, I can do this. And then after 5 hours, you're looking for a bridge to jump off. And the funny thing about it, I mean, I didn't last very long there, was that I saw people there that had worked there for 20, 30 years doing similar tasks. So
it's interesting how we all have different, like some people, they can do that, and that's...
Some people can do it.
Yeah. Everyone's built a little differently.
Yeah, that was for me. That was the worst.
But wait a minute, you worked porta potties.
I would porta potties. I had that was an after high school job too for a company that had porta potties, pumping septic tanks, and we had to clean out the porta potties when they came in. Yeah, that was. That was not great, but that was better than the pin press. At least you get to be outside. So, how about the best job? What's the best job you've ever had?
Well, this one.
That you enjoyed the most. So, being a modern homesteader.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
Yeah, I would say.
Actually, I did some dog mushing, and that was really fun.
Tell me a little bit about that. It's
I
funny how you got that job.
I worked for a professional musher. He was getting back into racing, and he needed a dog handler, and I really didn't know that much about dogs, but he met me and thought that I had a good attitude and offered me a job. Mrs.
Wranglerstar gets offered jobs from just random people she meets. They offer you jobs. That's been your MO, hasn't it?
Yeah. Well, if you buy a bike and you're friendly, apparently they think you want to sell bikes.
So you went to buy a bike and you got a job at the bike store?
Yeah.
So this is your favorite job?
Well, I like to be outside.
Yeah.
If I can be outside 24/7, that's what I want to do.
It's not really a job.
I worked hard.
Yeah.
I shoveled a lot of poop. We had 100 dogs.
I mean here.
Oh,
so the dog
yeah. I mean, this is my life. I'm a homeschooling teacher, mother, business, bookkeeper, entrepreneur, housewife.
A lot of hats.
A lot of hats.
Yeah. This is my favorite job too. I liked wildland firefighting. That was maybe my favorite job, but I wouldn't trade that for being a YouTube creator. This is a dream job.
Yeah.